Hey, what's going on, everyone? I hope I find everyone very, very well. Hope that everyone had a great Christmas if you celebrated, and also an even better New Year's. So let's get the usual out of the way. Remember, guys, this is a general reading, so please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And since these are general readings, they can either, the energies can either be coming directly from you or be happening to you from an outside source or from a person, for instance. And the energies can switch over upon any given instance. So remember to always just take what resonates and leave what doesn't and what fits for your unique situation. And please do not force anything. If you'd like to book a private reading, check the description box with a link there to my website. Or you can just visit intuitiveperceptions.com under the services tab. And yeah, book yourself a reading if you are so inclined to. Let's go ahead and bless the decks and we'll get started. Beloved God, I open all channels of light, north, south, east, and west. Guardian angels of the four directions, high councils who serve the holy law of one, holy pure ones, please anchor this space in your divine consecration to provide Leo with the clarity and direction as to which he or she seeks, Father, and please grant me, the reader, the objectivity to read the cards and relay every single message as they are meant and or intended to be. Alright, Leo, so in traditional tarot, we have the Death card here, the Five of Pentacles reversed, the King of Cups, the Two of Pentacles reversed, the Eight of Swords, and the Ten of Pentacles here. I haven't seen these two end cards here. These are your advice cards. So let's go ahead and start with your reading here, Leo. So, Leo, I'm feeling a real sense of going back and forth here. I'm being told straddling the fence a little bit. And remember, guys, as a reminder, this is general, so just apply it to your situation. It can either be coming directly from you or it can be happening to you. So just go ahead and select which resonates or which parts of the reading resonate with your unique situation upon any given instance, okay? So I'm feeling like, Leo, like there's, like I said, a real sense of going back and forth. Now, whatever that may be for you, is kind of dependent upon our own unique situations, circumstances. But what I'm picking up here is, oh, I forgot to say, maybe you could be dealing with a Scorpio. You could maybe be dealing with a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Or you could maybe be dealing with possibly maybe a Capricorn. Kind of throwing that out there, but we'll get back to you guys. But Leo, I really feel as though that, like I said, going back and forth, almost straddling the fence here, Leo. I'm also picking up on that possibly there is a situation here that I'm leaning more towards a relationship. That's what I'm really feeling here. Even though, I mean, there's really only one cup here. But I'm really just feeling like this is more of a relationship. Now, since this is general, we can go ahead and apply it to any situation. I'm just going to try my best to do that, to make it an overall general reading. But yeah, basically just going back and forth, not really deciding upon what it is that you want, Leo. I'm also kind of picking up that there's no transformation within this situation. And I'm feeling that there is a sense of wanting forgiveness from another person or a circumstance or situation. And I also feel that there's also a little bit of a negligence in maybe wanting to give forgiveness. So there's a lot of wanting things given to you, but maybe you not giving back in return. I'm really picking that up here. But I feel as though that this situation is making you feel like you are not balanced or that you can't control. When I say control, I just mean to delegate. That you're not able to maybe delegate your situation right now, like you're feeling unbalanced. You're feeling like you have to maybe juggle multiple things. And I feel as though that this juggling it's not proving to become or to be that of a successful venture. I'm also picking up here that, like I said, you are seeking the forgiveness, but I feel as though that you may be giving some of it back, but I don't feel like it's completely giving it back though. We have the Eight of Swords here, and these two cards here, the Eight of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles, are really sticking out in this reading here. And what I'm picking up when I see these two cards here with the Two of Pentacles reversed, I'm getting this real sense of choosing to kind of be in this rut, choosing to kind of be being stuck in this. And I'm also kind of picking up too that this Ten of Pentacles may be somewhat of an illusion. That's what I'm really kind of getting here. Because if the Two of Pentacles is reversed here, I mean, feeling like you can't handle situations, feeling like you can't juggle things, feeling like you can't have that sense of equilibrium. And it's funny that I say equal as well, you know, given that it's an equal give and take within a relationship or any circumstance or any kind of ship. That's why I call my readings here, your guys' readings, I should say, general ships. And I feel as though, Leo, that there's this fine line between forgiveness and acceptance. And I'm feeling also that because you don't feel balanced, right, or you don't feel like you can kind of juggle things and you can't stay firmly placed with 2 feet on the ground, you have this sense of, or you have had or have this sense of complete stability with another person or with a circumstance. Do you see how these two cards negate each other? There's contradiction here. And then at the same time, feeling trapped or feeling kind of involved in a situation that you maybe necessarily cannot escape from. Why would we want to escape from the Ten of Pentacles? This is a great card. It's a beautiful card in terms of what it embodies and the type of energy that it embodies and the type of situation that it exhibits or it talks about or speaks of. Why would we want to escape from this Ten of Pentacles here? And it's like not feeling balanced, not feeling like 2 feet are firmly on the ground, not being able to handle things, feeling trapped, and then wanting complete, supreme stability and happiness in a stability form with either yourself or with another person. But usually I look at the Ten of Pentacles with another person. That's how I read the Ten of Pentacles. And that's what kind of brings me or leads me up, coming up here, where there's no transformation. There isn't a time or a situation, or you don't see this circumstance amounting to change. And also with the Death card reversed here, it also can signify change not coming, or change not, or the order as to which things are progressing or how they are manifesting is completely leading to having moments or not having any type of transformation. That's what the Death card kind of it signifies. We're not having any type of transformation. There is there any growth, because if there was growth, there would be transformation. Now there's transformation of maybe kind of stagnant or stagnancy by laying low and kind of just letting things happen, and then some type of transformation comes from it, like and having an epiphany or an epiphanic moment. But I really don't feel like that's the situation here, because we want forgiveness, Leo, or we either want to give it, but usually the Five of Pentacles is usually wanting the forgiveness from someone else. And then we have the King of Cups here. So it's diplomatically handling certain situations in an emotional manner, wanting the forgiveness, but there's no transformation. You see where there's a lot of negation here. There's a lot of contradiction that is coming from this spread. The base cards, which is the Death card reverse and the Two of Pentacles reverse, is not matching up with the clarifying cards. That's where I'm saying I feel, Leo, like there's a lot of going back and forth. There's a lot of straddling the fence. There's a lot of a lack of understanding as to the root of things. And I hate to say that the Ten of Pentacles here is an illusion, but there's really no other way of me to maybe ascertain kind of the situation, kind of what's going on here, because of the Ten of Pentacles here, and then everything else kind of negating. And I'm also really feeling, Leo, like January 2018 is going to be a month where you possibly see how important it is to let quality people, or to allow only quality people within our lives. And I know that it's difficult to know that, or to have a knowing that that's someone's intentions. If it's another person coming in, that is their pure intention is only good. We don't really know the motives of other people until we go through the process or the situation with them. Granted, of course. But I feel like there's more to this story here, Leo. And when I'm looking more at your spread, and I'm down a little bit deeper in here, or into the situation here, I'm feeling as though that this is going to be forgiveness for yourself. You may not get it from the other person, or from the circumstance or the situation. It probably won't really happen, maybe. I mean, I hope it does, of course. But I'm feeling, Leo, like you are choosing to maybe stay in this circumstance or the situation because are in hopes of possibly getting that forgiveness. And I'm almost feeling like if you're kind of on the mind frame, or in the mind frame, that if you get the forgiveness, that things are going to completely change around. Granted, that can happen. But you have to realize, Leo, all of this time that you're investing into this circumstance here, if the forgiveness hasn't come, or it hasn't came yet, why will it maybe come down the line? Now, I don't want to say don't remain hopeful of certain situations, but I feel as though, Leo, that maybe you're not communicating with your significant other. Maybe your other is not communicating with you. And I'm feeling as though that there's this sense of almost wanting people to read your mind. Remember, guys, this is general, so it's either happening to you or coming from you. But I really just feel like the Death card reverses here because there's no transformation coming from the way that, Leo, you possibly look at situations. And I know that you, Leo, are a very proud sign, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel as though, Leo, that there could be a debilitation to pride. There can be sticking around when maybe certain scenarios or certain situations don't call for our kind of our approach to things, or putting our pride or putting our work into things, when things are going to remain how they are, because it takes two to tango, you know? And I feel as though that there's a lack of understanding in terms of the other party, what's their intentions. Because if your intentions are pure here, why isn't the other party's pure? But most importantly, we have to ask ourselves, why do we choose to stay within this rut or this circumstance? And I'm also feeling like maybe you could possibly be giving to the situation, and you giving the forgiveness, but you're not getting it back. Or either they're giving you the forgiveness and you're not giving it back. But regardless of the situation, or regardless of which area or which area of the spectrum that you're on, whether it's you giving it or you receiving it, it just seems as though that there is, or this relationship has kind of ran its course, that this relationship or partnership or circumstance has kind of proven to be that of instability. And I'm also feeling like with the Ten of Pentacles here, you probably maybe had this at one time, but we wouldn't, Leo, feel like we have had this, and all of a sudden signs come up where maybe this is taken from us, or we have been removed from the Ten of Pentacles type of equation, where then we don't feel balanced and then we feel trapped. The perception of feeling trapped. and we want to continually give forgiveness and want it back from the other party. But I feel like this spread, Leo, has a lot to do with the acceptance of what is and what is not, and what you can change and what you cannot change. And I'm feeling that the King of Cups is here, Leo, because it's time for possibly you to care for yourself now. It's time for you to look inward and see what really resides there, and see why, Leo, that you continue to stay within this circumstance, and what makes you, or what possesses you, to continue to continually give to it. And not only just to continually give to it, but also to expect maybe less back in return. I'm picking that up here too. There's an uneven amount of give and take. Obviously, that's kind of what we've been talking about. But I feel as though that with this Two of Pentacles reversed here, this is really sticking out as well in the reading to me. That there's no sense of balance. There's no sense of also moderation. And if we look at the cards kind of going down in terms of the end cards here, the cards sticking out or within an angle, we have to give to ourselves, Leo, to get ourselves out of a situation that we feel bound to or trapped in. Because the Eight of Swords is a card of the perception of being trapped. It's a decision. It's a choice. And if we move over here and we look at these two cards, we want to talk about things, or we want the forgiveness of other people. But we also want the happiness. We would have the complete and supreme happiness, or complete supreme happiness in terms of the stability with another person. We would only achieve this if we have, or we have gotten the forgiveness, or we have given it or received it. We wouldn't reach the Ten of Pentacles, Leo, if we kind of haven't had the forgiveness or the understanding. I'm looking at the Five of Pentacles reversed as understanding now. You know, the reason why we reach this supreme sense of stability is because there is understanding, not because we want it, not because we are yearning for it. You see how there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of negation going back and forth. So I'm trying to just kind of understand when I see the spread why we're trying so hard, or why we feel like this relationship or partnership or circumstance is going to turn around, but clearly it is not. And I'm feeling like it's proving to not happen as well. And I'm also picking up that time and time again, Leo, I think that this is a circumstance that you find yourself in. Now, I'm not saying that it's all completely your fault, because of course it takes two to tango, like I said before. But there's this Death card reversed here is really speaking to me as well. I mean, all the cards here are really pretty much popping out in terms of at different times, but I feel like now let's bring our focus to the Death card reversed here. There isn't any transformation, and I feel like, Leo, there's somewhat of a karmic cycle kind of going on here. And I'm also picking up that there is a sense of forgiveness that's yet to come, and I feel like it's with yourself, Leo, because forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for yourself. When I say it's for yourself, it's in the sense or the context of choosing to not let something be that or become that of a burden on you anymore. You're letting go of it. And also acceptance for letting this person or the situation move on with or without you. That's what the essence of forgiveness is. It's compassion for yourself. It's also compassion for looking at the situation for really what it is and knowing what you can change and what you cannot. And I feel as though that this is showing you time and time again that we can't necessarily control or delegate certain situations that really do have nothing to do with us. Because if it has to do with the other person, Leo, that other person has to heal. Or that circumstance has to heal without your interjection. And when that happens, then maybe we can kind of come back to this and maybe revisit this. Because the Eight of Swords, when we feel like the Eight of Swords, it's because we feel like we can't move forward. We feel like we are bound and trapped. Once again, it's a perception, but we don't fall into this sort of in a sense. But this doesn't happen overnight. You know, the Seven of Swords before the Eight of Swords is all about catching someone or seeing lies and deceptions, and someone may be keeping certain things from you and kind of feeling robbed of something. And then when we feel robbed of something and we continue on with the circumstance or the situation, continue to dwell in it, that's when we reach the Eight of Swords. Because then we feel trapped to it. But once again, it's a perception, because the Seven of Swords before the Eight of Swords is all about seeing that within another person. Seeing the thievery, if that's even a word. Feeling robbed. And we know that we're robbed of something, but then we choose to stay within it, and then that's when we reach the Eight of Swords there. Let's see what your advice cards are. Okay, the Magician. And the Nine of Swords reversed, yeah. I feel as though, Leo, that it's going to take some time for you to come out of this rut, you know? But it's going to start with not feeling like you can't control your thoughts, or choosing to not any longer hold on to that which prevents you from moving forward. I mean, if you look at it, stagnant energy, stagnant, and stagnant energy. Two swords here, cards. This is communication. And I feel as though, Leo, that the Nine of Swords reversed is here when you realize that now it's maybe time to give to yourself. Maybe now it's time to understand that you can only go so far, especially when it doesn't concern you, when the root of the problem is that, or the root of the issue is that it has really nothing to do with you sometimes if it's the other party. And I mean, you know, it could be you and not the other party as well, since this is general. But I really feel like this is kind of what's going on, that when situations have nothing to do with us, but yet we choose to stay in it. We're choosing misery. We're choosing to be trapped. The perception of it. And we want forgiveness from who, though? Because if the other party, if they're the real issue in terms of on an independent level, we're never going to get that from them. So why do we expect that from them? And then, Leo, I mean, if you put yourself in a situation, you stay in this situation, you need forgiveness from yourself, if you think about it. And I believe that that's why the Nine of Swords reverse is here for you. Because it's coming out of this period. It's no longer accepting. This is another choice card when it's upright. This is another choice card. The Magician is here because I feel like it's time to manifest your own plans now. Now it's time to do things for yourself. And knowing what you need to do and acting upon it. But doing it maybe somewhat behind the scenes, in terms of not in a deceptive manner, but doing it behind the scenes in terms of working on you with the King of Cups here. Giving to yourself so you can get out of this rut, and you can then relieve yourself of sleepless nights, of self-debilitation, relieving yourself of that and removing yourself from it and forgiving yourself. All right, Leo, let's go ahead and pull the Jesus card. Let's see what he has for you. Okay, so the first card here, and here's the second card. The first one, Leo, is Seek and you shall find, Matthew 7:7. Give and it shall be given unto you, Luke 6:38. I believe that this card is here, Leo, for you because it's trying to tell you, Leo. I'm sorry, it sounds funny. God's trying to tell you, your higher power is trying to tell you, Leo, that when you seek and find that you need, or that in which you need for yourself, in terms of self-love, you're able to then give that self-love to other people in an organic and in an honest way. And then when you do that, it's not always guaranteed that we're going to get that back in return, but we'll attract other people to us that will show us that reciprocity. We'll attract other people who vibrate upon that same frequency. But first you have to seek it and find it in terms of what you need as a person for your own self-love. Because when we seek and we find, just like the magician, go out there and find what you need to look for it and manifest that in which you want. When we then give to other people, to ourselves most importantly, organically and naturally and innately, when it's really built in us to show love and give ourselves self-love, that's when we don't put ourselves in positions where we feel like we're having internal misery within our minds. And it all matters about faith, Leo. But we have to really want it, and we have to really embody it most importantly. That's all about embodying it, Leo. Because when you embody it, you exhibit it. And then you'll attract people who exhibit that same type of frequency. All right, Leo? So check out Matthew 7 and Luke 6. Give me something in it for you. All right, Leo. It wasn't a bad reading. Just need to get a couple things and get a couple things together within your partnerships or relationships or circumstances. That's all. All right, Leo, it's all about self-love, because you have to love yourself before you can even give to anyone else. All right, Leo? All right, Happy New Year. We'll see ya.